Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Victoria and today we'll be making a scrunchy headband. For this project, I'll be using this cream silk leftover fabric and I'll be cutting out 3 rectangular pieces with this. This is the first rectangular piece, which will be the main piece for the headband, and it's 40 inches long and 7 inches wide. The second piece, which will be used as a casing for the elastic, is 15 inches long and 3 inches wide. And then here's the third and final piece, which will be used to create the ruffle. And this one is 14 inches long and 2 inches wide. I'll also be using an elastic band for this project. And this is a 1-inch wide elastic band, and the length I'll be using will be 8 inches. If you don't have a big head, you can go with 7 inches, but I'll be going with 8. So I'm just going ahead to measure 8 inches and then I'll cut it out. And now it's time to start stitching. So the first thing I'll be doing is to fold either end of the main piece towards the wrong side of the fabric like so. And I'll go ahead to press it down so it stays in place. You can see that I'm folding along the width of the fabric and I'm just taking in about half an inch. So I'm just going to give this a good press and bring it back. So I've given it a good press, as you can see. Now I'll just go ahead to fold along the length, and I'm folding on the wrong side of the fabric. So after folding, I'll be coming in from the open end by half an inch like so. Okay, and then I'm going to be marking 6 inches along that open end, and then I'll just go in with my ruler to connect the 2 points together. So the reason I'm doing this is to make it tapered towards the back. So I'm going to be stitching following this line I'm marking right now. So whatever I'm doing to this side, I'll be doing to the other side as well before taking it to the machine. I'll also go on to create the elastic casing by folding the second piece of fabric like so. This is the wrong side of the fabric, and then I'm going to stitch along the length using a 1/2 inch sewing allowance, such that when I'm done stitching, the width of the elastic casing is going to end up being 2 inches. So once I'm done creating the casing for the elastic, I'll move on to the main piece, and I'm stitching following the lines I marked on both ends. After stitching, I'm going to be cutting out the excess to reduce bulk, and then I'm going to turn it over to the right side using my safety pin. Once that's done, I'll move on to turn the casing for the elastic towards the right side as well. And then I'll go on to give the elastic casing a good press. And I'll be doing this in such a way that the seam line of the elastic casing will be in the middle. So I'm done pressing, and here's what it looks like. Now I'm going to be passing the elastic inside the casing using a safety pin. Once the elastic is passed through the casing, I'm going to be securing the end using a pin. And then I'll continue passing it through and secure it again at the other end. So here's what we have. Now I'll go ahead to run a straight stitch on either ends to secure it. So I've done that. I'm just going to set this aside and work on the main piece. Now, in order to create the ruffle, I'm going to be passing the third piece through this main piece. So I'm using a safety pin to pass it through, as you can see. And once it's completely in, I'm going to secure that end with a pin. And then I'll keep on passing it through until it comes up at the other end. I'll go ahead to pin it down again so it's secured. And then I'm just going to keep pulling so it forms a ruffle. And if you distribute it evenly, it should look like this. Next, I'm going to take out the pins and then stitch the inner piece to one end of the band, and I'll be stitching it towards the side that has the seam line, because that would be the wrong side. So I've done that, and here it is. And now it's time to put everything together. So I'm bringing in the elastic, and I'm going to be placing it inside the main piece in such a way that the seam lines are facing each other. So the right side of the elastic is facing the right side of the ruffle band, and the wrong side is also facing the wrong side of the ruffle band. Now I'm going to fold the excess towards the wrong side like so, and I'll be making a stitch on the wrong side just to keep everything together. I'm going to be hand stitching it because I don't want any visible stitch on the right side of the band. I'll go ahead to pin the side down and then work on the other side as well. So again, I'm passing the elastic band inside, right sides facing each other, wrong sides facing each other. So now it's time to stitch both sides. Like I said earlier, I'll be hand stitching because I don't want any seam lines to show on the right side, but if you don't mind it, you can go ahead and use your sewing machine for this. After I'm all done, here's what we have. This is what it looks like. You can see how neat it looks on the right side, and this is how it looks on me. I really love how this turned out. So I've come to the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.